All right, I'm going to talk about some of the fun stuff, and then we'll get to the some of the going back and talking a little bit about the East Asia aspect of this battle here. The fun stuff is he now has 4 battleships and a sub in his fleet, so he bowled doubled down, tripled down on the Mediterranean fleet here. So we'll come back to that in just a second. But I'm coming back because this is the day that I was answering. I just posted the video. I think it was US 10, Russia 11, and I know that's a little bit behind, but I always keep a little bit of delay because I don't want to get ideas and other people give me ideas, and then I feel bad that I do something that I didn't see. So I always have a little bit of delay. Any case, so the questions that have been popping up is why haven't I pushed up Asia with the U.S. or hitting these coastal territories that are two each with the U.S. and grabbing this income from Japan? And the quick and short answer is I really had to make a choice: either fight for the Middle East or push up to the East Coast of Asia. If I push up the East Coast, and it looks tempting because right, he's only producing 2 units a turn, and he's only got these handful here. But you gotta remember he's had a lot of air, and if I'd done that earlier, I wouldn't have been doing Persia, so he would have had a lot more bombers that he's lost. So I think he's lost like 6 bombers, 6 Japan bombers over there. So really, one infantry and all his air can do a lot of damage to my stacks. Where I would have to move in order to make advancements to hold a territory. I was gonna have to move stacks of at least 6 to 8 infantry to get it. So really, it was either sending everything this way or sending everything this way. To take these coastal territories too, I would have to jump my fleet, so my whole fleet would have to be over here, so they would not be able to reach C Zone 34. So this would have been just completely opening up the Persia, TJ, Egypt, Middle East, which I'll talk a little bit more. But just even in here, he's been giving me Yun and free. I've been surprised that he hasn't actually pushed in to challenge me here at least. So I've been happy just to get my 1 free unit here every turn that he's been allowing. If I moved into any of these, it would have been trading back and forth. And like I said, he could trade a lot more efficiently with all his air that he had than I was going to be able to. And again, in order to do it efficiently, I'd have to have my navy here, and they could just pull off of these, 5 units off of these guys back and forth, and then these guys couldn't be shucking into the southeastern part because I couldn't protect both 61 and 36 from all his Japan air. So I'd have to commit either to a stream of infantry going this way, which would mean everything pumping here and nothing going this way, which would have opened up the door for Germany to take Persia and most likely into India in order to push hard enough up this way to make a difference. But more importantly, because of his fleet here, if I gave up Persia, then he would not have to use this fleet to go to TJ and Egypt the several turns like he did, and he would have just started dumping into Northern Africa. So Northern Africa would have fallen really fast, and then subsequently he would have been pushing into Africa. And like I said, because my fleet would have to be over here, even if I had it here, it would have been hard for me to pin him up in this range. So at the very best case scenario, I'd lose these 5 IPC regularly. Well, even these 2 here. So really 7, IPC constantly lost to push that battle to Japan. And I would be giving that to Germany, and then Germany would have the capability to be potentially pushing into South Africa. And I do not have a very steady flow coming into South Africa, so he very well could have taken Africa, to be frankly honest. So that's what it really boils down to: is if I committed here, I would have given up this, and Germany would have been at the very least got Northern Africa and very likely poured into Southern Africa. The other part is this fleet that I had moved over to 34 for a turn. Even in US 11, at that point, the air had reached a point between his fighters and his bombers that I couldn't keep my fleet over there from a 1-2 punch safely. So I was kind of on a limited basis of when I could do this shift over to C Zone 34. I had a time window that was shrinking. at least in Season 36, he can't really get his fighters very easily into a position where they can threaten it without putting them at risk. Because again, if he puts them on the coast, which can reach Season 36, then he's got to worry about me using my transports to hit his fighters. So for the time being, I can be a little. I don't need to have as much defense in the 36, which I am going to need to continue to build defensive planes and ships, carriers and destroyers because of this whole purpose. But all that's to say, Persia secondarily was so important in order to squeeze his Mediterranean fleet. If I couldn't get into Persia, he could just keep hiding into 16 and building in Caucasus to drop more. The fact that I got to Persia and was able to take Caucasus to prevent him from being able to drop more was a key point in this game, to put it simply. So, now, this turns out to be interesting because basically, although I missed something that I think he may have missed too, and I gotta pull out the calculator and check this, but basically he's making me have to do a 1-2 hit here, which means I'm gonna have to hit the battleships 3 times in order to sink them. So he's gonna make it painful for me to wipe this fleet in all likelihood. But the one thing I just realized, and I'm not sure if he realized, he probably did, but he probably did the calculations. UK is going to take TJ, so now the Suez is going to be open for these 2 subs to come in, and I actually wasn't even counting on them. So I'll have 4 subs attacking in here, so I need to double check what exactly I need. Without the 2 subs, I was going to be comfortable if I got it down to even the carrier with 2 fighters gave me a 60% chance to wipe. All I needed was this sub and destroyer to be out of the picture. So I'm going to relook at what it's going to take for me to do this clearing. I do have 7 fighters that I can hit here and wipe out. But these 2 subs do change a little bit. That I was planning on backing out of Persia, but maybe I can bring enough fighters back to Persia that I can even hold Persia while wiping this fleet, and that would be just triple bonus. So I'm going to go back to my calculator for just a second, so I'm going to pause it for a second. You won't really notice, but okay. So yeah, I'm going to just have to see what happens and kind of roll with it. It'll be ishy to put to try to stack Persia in face of the 1-2. It would be costly for him to take it back. I think it's going to really depend on how many UK fighters I have living when I get the Germans down close enough to attack. If I can get them down to like a carrier battleship and the battleships and retreat and still have 2 fighters that could fly back to Persia, it might be worth it then. And try and stay stacked and make him, suicide the Germans, the Japan into it. I did miss 1 fighter that he's got there, so he would have 1 more fighter going in there than I had calculated. But the average results is him coming out negative 42 IPC, him clearing Persia, but coming out negative 42 IPC in doing so. I mean, that's pretty good for me. So if I have 2 UK fighters, if I get them down to 4 battleships, 1 carrier, and I have 2 UK fighters living that could fly over to Persia, then I might just go ahead and do that. And it may be worth sacrificing another transport to grab a infantry and AA to throw into Persia on US's turn if he attacks. So we'll see. I'm also going to tempt him with Northwest Europe. So I'm going to go ahead and drop. My plan is to drop 3 infantry and an AA here. I'm going to leave France alone, but since he made Berlin empty, and I'm going to kill these fighters, presumably. Then that leaves him 2 infantry to attack the 3 and an AA. He's not going to do that. He'll have to bring his bombers to do it. And risk them, A, risk them against the AA, B, they'll have to land here, which means they won't be threatening C-Zone 36, and C, they would not be attacking Persia then. So we're going to try and stretch his bombers as much as we can here as well. The good news is nothing can hit C-Zone 8 other than his fighters, which, again, hopefully we're planning on wiping them out. But the bombers can't reach C-Zone 8, so that's a free C-Zone. Now, in my wiping of these, my intention is not to use my carriers at all. I plan on pulling the carriers out. Save those IPC for landing the fighters on, because he's still going to have, he's going to build 2 bombers probably and have, again, 10 bombers going across the board here that he can bring over, that I got to be prepared to build fleet fast for back up here. So, all that's to say, I'm repairing India. I'm going to build 5 units, 3 for here, 2 for here. I'm going to have 1 left over. I'm going to have my artillery still sitting here. So I'll be 1 unit short for my guys. But we're also going to go ahead and build a destroyer, because, you know, we don't want him to start dropping subs all of a sudden because of me not having a fleet anymore. As well as we're going to get 1 fighter built in up here as we bring the carriers back. So I have the 2 carriers, a destroyer, and a fighter to start, you know, in C-Zone 8. So, we're going to see what this looks like. It's a big battle. I'm a little nervous about it. But, here we go. I want to make sure we grab that. I'm going to use this transport to take it just in case things go sideways or look bad, and I decide that I don't want to drop the AA and the other infantry. Instead, I come up here and I can bring this infantry and grab this infantry coming over and then come back. I don't foresee that, but just in case, I like to leave the contingency plans in there. I do need to make sure I kill these 2 fighters first. You know, I'm going to pay attention to which fighters I kill. Kill the ones with the least number of movements, the least amount of gas remaining first and everything. Alright. Am I forgetting anything? Am I missing anything? We got 11 units attacking into his 2, 3, 7, 9. I mean, I suppose if it's going really well, really well, then there's a chance that I just let the UK go all the way through with it and not have to hit those battleships twice and leave the US fleet completely surviving. We'll see. So we're just going to have to take this 1 roll at a time. Yeah, I hear you, implausible. So average is 5 hits each. So let's get 6 hits for me on the first round of rolls. You know, it's interesting, the total power is 30 versus his total power is 29, but he's got 13 hit points to my 11. Oh, 3 hits is not good. Crap, even the sub hit. Oh, ay. This is why he did it. I need at least 3 more hits. Son of a gun. This is not good. But we gotta go. We're committed now. Persia's gone. Persia's off the picture now. 1 hit! Are you kidding me? Oh, flippity flappity. Oh, I hate sea battles now. I need a hit. You gotta take something out. Oh my goodness. That entire fleet, and I killed one ship. That's a disaster. Uh, Man-made, horrible. That, I don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh. I'm just at a loss. I am just so at a loss right now. I'm gonna have to, I just have to hope for good dice on the US attack. It's that simple. Those subs better do some major surprise attacking. Man, the US still has a 70%, 72% chance to clear, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just, oh my goodness. Yeah, la, 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 la. Well, that was a nice waste of everything. Okay, I'm done complaining now. Moving on. Alright, we're gonna have to praise her for some holy dice against the C-Zone 15. We need some really good dice because I need some fighters to survive. Well, so I noticed right after I logged off on my rage after the UK disaster that he could hit my US ships in the Mediterranean with his Japan bombers, which he went for, and to my advantage, he killed one destroyer but lost two bombers, two Japan bombers. And what that means is that leaves this to a 54% chance I kill and clean it. I really need to not only kill and clean it, I need to clean it with some surviving units. Um, Whether that's a couple subs I leave hanging in here, or uh, if I get some bombers to survive, or whatever. We need some units to live, because the downside all of this is he is going to be able to move in and stack Persia now, which we fought hard for in order to wipe this Mediterranean fleet, and so we've got to do it. Um, and we've got to wipe out the transports. So we can't just kill the battleships. We got to kill the transports. If the transports live, then Germany's gonna get another turn, and he might as well just go ahead and double on back down and put another couple of battleships down, right? And if I don't have units surviving anywhere that can counter it, well, then all I would have would be one fighter that could reach him, one UK fighter. So it'd all be for naught. So this is really critical that we actually wipe his fleet. If we don't wipe his fleet, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, it may be getting close to that good game at that point. To be honest, I wouldn't call it yet, because I mean I still got a good foothold down here, and he has to make it through Africa, but it was painful. So, and for the record, what my plan really was a 2-round strafe with UK, and there was an 80% chance that it got this fleet reduced to where I was confident with the US, and had the average result was that 2 fighters of UK would live. If 2 fighters of UK had lived, I was going to land in Persia, move my UK over, and then be able to dump in here and hold Persia while wiping that fleet. And now instead, we're just praying to wipe the fleet, and we're giving up Persia. And that's how much of a swing that ended up being. The good news is I feel good. I'm going to build 16 infantry this turn. Japan built 1 bomber, 1 fighter, 2 infantry again. Their only attack was to attack Season 14. And I'll be building one fighter with that, but 16 infantry, so I'm happy about that. So we're getting some ground troops on up and running at the very least. But I just can't stress enough. I mean, this is critical. This is just absolutely critical. That's the only battle I believe I'm going to have. Otherwise, we're just loading up, preparing to defend India. So we're going to pull into India to try to create a dead zone as much as possible here, and hopefully scare him from moving everything in that way. Meanwhile, we will move some units up this way and start to press the coast into Asia that you guys have been commenting on. It is time for that now. I suppose I should probably go ahead and take Caucasus again now that I think about it. I hadn't even looked at that, so I guess that is the other battle that we're going to want to do, is try to take that. I can't spare any planes for it though, so we're going to have to use my tank to do it. But that taking away those 4 build spots up towards the front from Germany is, even for a turn, is worth it. So I think I got to do maybe 2 infantry and a tank going there since I'm pulling out anyways. So Africa is definitely in threat now that I'm going to give up Persia. But if we can wipe the fleet, at least he has to march these infantry slowly through it, giving me time to build infantry, build air back up, as well as the potential flyover with the 5-6 transports. So I believe we can get it. I am going to have to throw the carrier. I got to throw everything in there now, unfortunately. You know, before I wasn't going to have to throw any of the carriers in. I got to stop talking about what it was. I got to talk about what we are now. We'll take a look at what everything looks like after this battle. I don't know why they give me an implausible now. It's not actually implausible. Double check, make sure I'm not missing something real quick. I got 12 units versus 12 units, is that right? 3, 7, 12. 3, 7, 11. Oh, yeah, 12. Sorry. 8 units, 12 hit points is what I got. And that's what he's got. He's got 12 hit points there. So overall, we both had 12 hit points. I have attack power of 31. He's got a defense power of 27. So it really is just a toss-up that's slightly in my favor. Let's warm the dice up on Caucasus. Go tank. Yay for the tank. Alright, so this may take a while because I may recheck after each round of dice roll on whether it's better to take subs. I mean, I'm going to throw the cruiser, or excuse me, the carrier and destroyer first, but then it's a matter, do I take my subs or do I take my planes first? It's going to depend on how many hits we get and what their order of loss is, and come on, guys, let's get some hits. That's better, US. US did better. Oh, God, dog it. Wasn't supposed to get that many hits back, though. Good gosh, my gosh. Okay, let's see. So, he took the fighter first. Alright, I'm going to think about this a second. Alright, so odds of me winning and killing the transports are about the same either way. But if I save the subs, that includes him with the fighter living. So, with the fighters, we're more likely to just wipe him out as well as get the transport. So, we have got to have good dice here. I need what, 1, 2, 6 hits altogether, so I really need 4 or 5 hits out of these guys. Oh, that's not what we were looking for there. Dang it. Well, that sucks. Alright, I'm just not even sure what I'm going to do at this point, but so pull these guys back out of there. There we go. I'm sure this is ugly. I don't really want to look at this. Look at that flip. And now he's got strategic advantage as well. Alright, bummer. This game may be on the downslide now. Oh, we'll see what we can try and scrounge and pull up. I mean, this is just the big deal. I mean, this is a big deal because it's going to continue to dump units directly in, plus these guys going this way and this way. And I really don't have any way to get back into the med again. And I mean, I've got no airplanes left. I'm in a bad shape at this point. So he's going to quickly take, I said, kind of like what I was saying, if I'd gone up that way, now the worst case scenario is going to happen. He's going to quickly take all of North Africa and all the way through here. So these are going to flip over to him. So that's what, 4, 5, 7 IPC that's going to go over to him constantly. And it's going to be very hard for me to plug him up here. We'll see what happens, but not looking good now. 2 turns ago, I was super excited. Or last turn, before this turn, I was super excited. I thought once we wipe this fleet, this is our game, as we won. And that's how quickly a bad Navy battle can go for you. Alright, well, we'll see what we can do. See if we can scrounge this game still. Okay, so Germany, they built a carrier and 2 fighters, put them back into the med here. 6 infantry, which is nice. And of course, uh, he did not take Caucasus back with Germany. Uh, hindsight 2020, I was a little bit tilted after the U.S. turn, so it probably was not a good idea to take this because now Japan's going to have the ability to take it and have 6 production slots on land right here, pressuring immediately. And normally that would be a good thing to take away build spots from Germany, except for the fact that Germany's got 4 immediately moving, and he can bump this up to a 3rd transport, a 4th transport, and just funnel people that he's building in Germany directly to Egypt. So he doesn't need Germany productions at the front line. They already are at the front line, essentially coming from Germany. So not good. I mean, reality is I wanted to just forfeit this game. But you think about it, I had the advantage. He took that Germany battle that wiped out all those American planes, had a poor chance, got good dice, won, pulled him back into the game. He gambled. Now it looks like a brilliant move building those 2 extra battleships and a sub here. I had a 90% chance to clear them with the 1-2. It failed. Looks great. He's just saved his game because I think that was going to be the death stick that was going to let me to win by clearing them, and if I was able to stack Persia or at least dead zone it. But now that completely turned on its head, and now he's by far very favorited. But at the same time, he took those risks. He paid off. I'm going to have to find a place to take my risks. I'm not sure where that is yet. I'm just going to take this turn, and I'm going to have to just think about this and see where I can take the gamble risk and hopefully get some of the lucky dice like he did in Persia and the Mediterranean here. So, in any case, all that being said, I have to build up my Air Force here because he now has 4 bombers. He did lose a bomber, by the way. My AA hit a bomber, so yay. But he now has 4 bombers and 2 fighters targeting this zone, so we do need to build my fighters back up. I'm going to put 2 infantry down here, and we're just going to take France and call it a day. That is it. Not much of a turn, and again, I'm not really sure. Well, what I've got to do is if he's going to have all this production spot for Japan, I need to do like you guys were talking about and asked about before. I need to press up and try to take as much of this as I can. The problem is how do I funnel the units in? So we're going to see, but we just got to take up as much of Japan's income as we can. Okay, I just recorded my whole pre-turn information and realized my microphone was not on. So here we go. I'm going to forget what all I said. But basically, I want to take advantage that his German bombers are over here. His Japan bombers are over here. These are free sea zones. 36. I only got to defend against 2 bombers. And I'm just eyeing all of this territory without units up here. So I want to hit up here, and I thought about taking infantry tank up here and then letting the tank blitz, but the reality is even infantry tank, his 3 fighters, 2 bombers hitting there is a even split on IPC value. So in other words, he kills 9 IPC and loses a fighter. So he won't take it. I'd like to get to hold it, but I think instead I'm just gonna put some infantry in both of these, make them fight for them, and then potentially I'm going to set up a potential back and forth here for as long as I can until air gets in the more air gets in the area, and just trying to spread him as thin as possible, as many places as possible. So yeah, so this is going to be interesting. What I did say previously is I really haven't thought this. I haven't thought this out multiple turns ahead like I normally would. I've never done this strategy before in a KJF. I've never tried to split over this way like this. I'm doing this for fun now. I just want to see how it plays out. So my purchase is going to be 2 fighters because I want to keep building fighters, and as we discussed before, I'm going to build 3 more transports and 5 ground troops, all coming down into this area. Now, the 3 more transports, you're going to be like, well, you can only use 5 transports of shucking here. I love building extra transports in a KJF. Again, 1, because eventually I can swing over here into Africa as needed, but 2, you could set up a certain buy and potentially make an attack on Tokyo. If nothing else, my building extra transports, if he's aware about it, he's going to have to build extra. He's going to have to spend money on infantry here in Tokyo, which is less money being spent over here. And if he has to build infantry here and he wants to build ground here, that means less money on planes. So we're going to see. Of course, me building transports and shucking up this way means I'm going to have less ground coming on to the map myself. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this is going to play out. I probably should think it out more, but I'm kind of in a little bit of a hurry here. This is dead zoned. I can't attack that. Frustratingly, I can't drop off here because these fighters could come. I wonder. Now that I think about it, I might split this up. I might make him have to think about this. So, I mean, he may take it up. I'm going to take 1. I'm going to put 1 in non-combat in here, and 1 I'm going to come down this way and do the long route with. Because if he sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So the bombers can't reach him. So he'd have to use his fighters, would go 1, 2, 3, and have to come over here, which would force him to pull his carrier out into the C zone 13. And if he has to pull his carrier, then I'd sink it, or he has to pull the whole thing out here, which gives me 7 units attacking his 4 units, which is like 80-some%, which is less than round 12 disasters, but I would definitely take an 83% shot at sinking his fleet. So yeah, I'm going to move 1. I'm not going to put 2 transports up there. I'll put 1 transport up there for him to decide if he wants to go for it or not. But as far as attacking goes, I think that's all we can do attack-wise here, right? Nothing else to do attack-wise. Nah. Alright, we're going to move 1 loaded carrier up there. We're going to move some destroyers and a battleship. That's got the heavier face of 3 fighters, 2 bombers that can hit there. We're going to leave a cruiser, 1 carrier. We're going to drop 2 fighters on top of him here. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to put 2 there, move the rest up this way. Actually, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Two bombers and a fighter versus, yeah. I'll take that battle. Alright, so. And this will let me get them off sync, and then I can continue to tease him this way, have one transport, next turn. So this guy will go here, this guy will go up, and then we just... Drop my fighters there. So my 3 here can grab these 2, grab 2 of these guys. This guy can grab 2, this guy can grab 1, they can go up. Or these guys can shuck, these guys can come down. Worst case, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we're good. But the 2 artillery here does put a little bit more pressure on the Tokyo, make him at least think about it. I think that's good. I haven't keeping up on my spreadsheet, so we'll just take a quick look here. 17 IPC on the attack power. I forget what that was last time. I see he's up to 85. I'm still cooking 98 here, so hopefully we can make something of this and hold this out. Of course, Africa's going to start changing. So this is going to start going down. This is going to start going up. And hopefully we can keep that number down a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, I got to do a quick turn here. Time's running low and whatnot. But anyways, so, whoops, here we go. Germany bought 2 fighters, bombers, 7 infantry. Main thing he did, he attacked Sea Zone 8 and he wiped it. So he had a 26% chance of wiping my fleet with his 4 bombers and 2 fighters. And he defeated it with 2 bombers still living. He lost 2 fighters, 2 bombers, so he got a top 15% result in there. I think this just goes to show the UK Navy and Air Force really are not that good in this game, period. They've blown chunks the entire game, but now this pretty much blows the game wide open. So all I got are transports here. He's got a fleet sitting here, and I've got 2 units sitting in UK. Basically, UK's got a big old target. It's gonna die. I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance, see if I can get a 0.5% result like he's been getting. But it's looking like I'm toast. So maybe I can get a Hail Mary and take Tokyo or something. I don't know. Not looking good. This really, I mean, this is just compiling, and that all came down to not being able to get that last battleship and transports out of the water. But so I got to think about dead zoning Sea Zone 13, so he can't come out this turn at least. So we are getting 1 measly infantry for down there. We're gonna get 4 subs and a fighter to dead zone Sea Zone 13. But if he really wants to, he can put 5 destroyers and a carrier, fly these fighters over here into Sea Zone 5, and I can't wipe it. I got like a 30% chance I had to take that like he's been doing. But, he drops them there, brings these guys out, and then it's okay, so what do you do? So I'm going to do it, see how he plays it, but the reality is in 2 to 3 turns, England's going to fall. And, I don't think there's any recovering from that. because even if it doesn't that quickly, he's going to start taking Africa. Their income's going to go down. So England's in big trouble, is what all that's trying to say. Nothing to attack with. I really got nothing I can do. Looking at this, I don't even know where to go with this transport, to be honest. Need to stay in range of UK. So I could go over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I can't even do that. Scratch that. I basically got nothing. He only moved 2 German infantry into there, so I think I'm not even going to build my UK infantry down there. I'm going to put him in. I got nothing. I'm at a loss of what to do at this game at this point. But there we go. Alright, so kind of like we expected, he's building in the mainland now. He only built 1 extra fighter. He did lose a fighter taking Manchuria back, so that was nice. But he did bring his fighters back over, so I can't get to 62 unless I just take everything and put it up here and try and stack Manchuria, which I could, but then I'm going to make sacrifices over here in Africa, and I won't be shucking anybody back to the ground, to the mainland. So I have 0 reinforcements here, dry up here, so he could push here, he could push here, and then I could come back, and ultimately he keeps building air and he trickles these guys back. I don't think I could build units here and fly fighters over fast enough and build a navy to save both sea zones fast enough. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to, give this attack up for a turn and turn around and pivot back this way and into sea zone 36, put some threat over here, because the other thing too is, like I said, UK is in very, 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 very bad position here. This is just absolutely begging for a sea lion right now. So I need to get some US help over this way to help shelter them. So that's what we're going to try to do. So we're buying 6 infantry, 2 artillery. Going to buy us another. Whoa, okay. I have battleship. Like, no, carrier, and a couple fighters. This game, I'll be honest, it's slipping out of hand quickly. I do know Toadstone and I are obviously on exact opposite ends of the world, because he's on in the middle of the night for me, and I'm sure I'm on in the middle of the night for him, and we're very, 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 very rarely on at the same time. And I know he's getting busy, I imagine, with ranked play, and I'm getting ready to turn around with the league has started up, and club AA that I'm leading starting up. So we're going to play this just a little bit longer, but I got a feeling we may tank this. He actually went over the 24-hour time limit, and I just went over the 24-hour time limit. So, but because it just changed a custom, neither of us had to auto forfeit. But I just got a feeling this game, I may just have to toss it in here in a little bit, just in order to move on to other projects, unfortunately. But it's been a fun game, so I don't necessarily want to do that either. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. Which way do I go? I'm going to go this way. That way it makes him have to bring a unit up this way. Even if I don't kill this guy, if I do kill this guy and he comes up this way, then I can go that way. Man. I keep looking at this and like, if I just go ahead and get New Guinea, every turn I don't get it, it's 2 points going the wrong direction. But I need to get these guys back this way. Because I want to try and put pressure on Persia now. There's just never enough people. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. I don't think 2 IPC waiting yet another turn is going to make that much of a difference. Alright, so let's cancel you guys out. Like I said, I think I'm in kind of a tough spot here. And this game's going to dissolve on me. It'd be nice to take this and him miss and get that money. Come on, guys. No. Oops. Really? Yay. Yay, and he still missed. Whew. A lot of rolling for dimes there. Thank you. Oh. What is up with these fighters, for crying out loud? Now this is kind of important. I was kind of counting on... Has anyone been counting how many fighter misses I've had? Alright, well this is bad news, probably. I'm just gonna play it anyways. Oh my goodness. This is so getting on my nerves now. Alright. Oops. Hey. Don't take off too soon. You need both your guys. Now I wouldn't be surprised if he sinks him. Oh, I forgot to build infantry for over here. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Eeny, meeny. I've got to do something to make him. I mean, give him decent opportunities. There's just no getting around it. I just got to give him the shots now. Still leaving 5, 4. Don't think we'll do it. So what I was considering there, what I was thinking about is just sacrificing a transport to put 3 guys up here, so that it'd be a little harder for him. But I just don't see it pulling off what I want it to. Come on. I don't want a blank transport going, really. $16 there. Got 7 transports, so we could move 2 up. Yeah, now, I mean, he can come 2 infantry. He can actually slide out of here, although I don't think he would because of me having the face off with him. So he'll have 2 infantry, 1, 2, 3, 2 fighters, and 3 bombers. I can hit that. I think I'm okay, but I mean, I wouldn't take that if I was him in this position because he's in a very dominant position now. So this little bit here, these fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4. Carrier could go here, so I'm helping shut down the C-Zone 13 curtain is what I'm trying to do there. Now, do I put 2 more in here, or do I put them up here for this guy? I think I'm going to put them up here for this guy, because we may need to pivot them around that way too. Yep. I don't like it, but there we go. Okay, so it looks like Germany is happy to continue to build battle in the Mediterranean versus the UK and US. Obviously, he can outpace the UK, so I've got to keep the US getting stuff rolling here. But the good news is he bought 2 destroyers, no airplanes in there. 2 tanks, 9 infantry. He's got his tanks up here, so they're going to start coming into play on all of this front pretty quickly here. So, yeah. I'm assuming he's going to move all his Japan units down here And he may still need to move some planes over there, considering I've got 8 transports, 2 tanks, and 14 infantry that can hit this area. Um, on the flip side, if I don't close the Suez and I come in here, then this whole fleet, plus these 2 fighters, 3 bombers of Germany can hit there. And he's got his 2 bombers here that would be able to hit there, and whatever he builds bomber-wise here could go 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I haven't done the calculations to see if we could hold that with everything or not. But, you know, something I'm just keeping an eye on. Most likely that's not going to be an option this turn. But if he moves his fighter stack over here, then that does give the potential, can I do a big transport build and come back and hit Japan if he doesn't build. If he builds a bunch of ground over here and moves his fighters over here, then it could give me a shot. I don't think he's going to fall for that, but you never know. Very least, it could allow us to come back up to 62, take this heavily, and not have to worry about these fighters coming back. So, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what Japan does. For our UK turn, well, his attack, all he did was take Morocco here. Like we knew this was going to deteriorate fairly quickly. Not much we could do about that, unfortunately. And that's getting our total incomes closer to each other at this point when he breaks through to South Africa, which is more of an inevitable, as here he has 4, here comes 5 more, he can bring 4 more from there, so he's going to have 13 infantry sitting there, 14 if I don't kill this guy coming into the area, and I'm just going to have 7. So he's going to break through into Southern Africa. Not much I can do about that. So, what now? We had 29 IPC, so we can build our 3 infantry to continue to build in India, build 2 fighters up here to continue to try to get something rebuilt up here. We're still not going to be able to attack and trade on this side of the world because I don't have enough resources to build a carrier yet and be able to defend these guys from coming out to Sea Zone 13. And a carrier alone would mean I would have to scratch both of these guys. So all I could do would be a carrier and land a fighter on it, and he'd still have 2 bombers I could reach there, which would probably be worth it for him to smack. So we are going to stick with just the 2 fighters, continue to try to build here, start moving my US carrier up, fighters over a little, you know, potentially over, and look at trying to get it so we can get a fleet going up here again. Which means there's not a whole lot, I don't think, any attacking for my UK folks to do. As much, I mean, I could just go ahead and trash the transport and throw them here in France, but I just don't know what that does positive for me, so we're not going to. And nothing to attack, because 10 infantry is not going to attack that stack. I think I'm just going to leave him here so that eventually we can come across. There really is nothing for the UK to really do. Can't even move the subs into here to threaten him since he built his destroyers now. All we can do is just sit tight. Not a very exciting turn, I'm sorry. Not much to do. We're both trying to build and recover, except for he's got the better position sense around here. Although I got slightly higher IPC, this whole Mediterranean and Atlantic fleet loss was just devastating. So, that's the end of our turn. Alright, folks. Japan bought 9 infantry and artillery, throwing 6 of those guys over here. 3 of the actually, I think he put 4 of the guys, 5 and 4 or something. 4 infantry went over here. Let's see. He oh yeah, 10. My math was not going well. Okay, yeah, 4 infantry there. Filled out these guys. Moved these guys down into here, and he brought his Japan Air Force over to here. He killed that guy. He killed here. Took those with heavy air. And this is what we're looking at. So, as I alluded earlier in the game, he's obviously on a different time zone. We're both kind of, the game's kind of getting slow just to play the turns. He's not playing for anything. Rank season's long over. Neither of us are playing for anything. It's been a fun game. I think it's time to push our chips all in. So I'm going to push all in. I imagine he'll push all in, and we're gonna flip a couple coins to determine who wins this game. Maybe. This game's going crazy. Who knows what ends up happening? So this is kind of what I wanted. You know, how I based this, and I brought this transport over here with these with the artillery to be able to hit with, and pulling all these guys and getting my 6 fighters in range of Persia, and where he had left off, and I was really kind of playing to, okay, he's going to either have to pull his Japan Air in, or I'm going to be able to take 8 transports and smash Persia. So I kind of wanted him to pull them here, because now these 6 fighters can't reach Tokyo. And so now I've got a whole bunch of transports ready to target Tokyo at the same time. Now he can get 3 bombers back. These 3 can fly back to Tokyo. And he has 30 IPC that he can build 8 units with. So that could be 6 infantry and 2 tanks, or it could be 6 infantry, a tank, and an AA, which is probably more effective. I didn't run the calculators between the two. They're probably about the same. Because I'm going to bring the heat to Tokyo. We're going for Tokyo, folks. So this is one of the things that, as I've been buying a transport here and a couple of transports there, and now I've got 8 transports here, and you're sitting going, why the heck does he have 8 transports? Because 2, 4, 5, maybe 6 transports most is what you need. And this is one of the secrets that I've come to appreciate more in my more recent game, of the flexibility that this gives you from Manchuria, Tokyo, to the arch getting into Africa, especially including Persia, to help keep pressure off India, is this whole kit and caboodle here. So, you ready for my purchase? 2 artillery, 7 transports. That's 9 units. You'll notice 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're unloading everything here. We're going to leave those 2 infantry there. We're not going to take them off. We're going to build the 2 artillery down here with 2 transports. So those 2 transports will take those 2 artillery, those 2 infantry, straight to Tokyo. We're going to drop 3 transports in C-Zone 48. C-Zone 48 can come here, pick troops off of Yunnan, and come to Tokyo. So we got to have a stack of units sitting here. So there's 2, 5. The other 2 transports drop in 36. We're going to have a stack of units here. We're going to have 1 transport grabbing a set of these. This transport's actually going to come over to New Guinea with another transport as it is. I'll explain that a little bit more in a second. But that's how we're going to build 7 transports and 2 artillery, and we're going to fill 15 transports. So we're going to have 15 transports. We're going to set it up so that we have 6 fighters, a battleship, and a cruiser to head in to uh, Tokyo. And I didn't. I don't think I. I'm gonna look back. I don't think I saved my calculator on it, but basically, if I don't lose any units attacking New Guinea back here, then I've got. It came out to like a 58, 59% shot on Tokyo. Is that if this was a highly competitive game, would I take that shot? If this was like a tournament championship, well, I might. I still might. Um, if I wanted to draw this game out longer, I probably could. But I'm ready to wrap this game up, and league starting and clubs starting, so I'm gonna get overloaded with the game. So let's go for it. So that's if we get all of our units to attack. So let's talk about what can Axis do to cut my chances. Well, one, I've got to have 3 stacks of transports here. Well, 4. All 4 of these C zones have to have transports. Initially, these 3. Okay, let's go back to initially. Initially, it's these 3. These 2 bombers can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 2 bombers could hit C zone 47. They can obviously hit 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can hit C zone 48 with these 2 fighters that can hit C zone 48. The 6 fighters, they're out of it. Nothing to worry about. This bomber, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't do anything there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could do something here. So we could have 1 bomber followed by 2 bombers here. We have 2 bombers, 2 fighters here. We got 2 bombers here, unless we take out New Guinea. Then this is a free zone. And the New Guinea C zone itself, fighters 1, 2, 3 can't land. Bombers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can't land. So I can send naked transports out to here. So we're going to send 2 transports, each with 2 infantry and 2 artillery to hit here. Hopefully kill it cleanly without losing any units, so that then they can still come right back and hit Tokyo next turn. So now I've got to protect these 2 C zones as best as I can, and ideally get spread out my cruisers and destroyers and battleships to minimize the hits on the fighters and carriers. Most importantly, we only have 2 carriers, so we got to have 1 carrier here where its fighters can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could build a carrier to land back on, or we can leave a carrier back here. And then we'll also have 2 fighters in the Philippines that can go 1, 2, 3, and then land on the carrier. And so that would give them, their landing. So we'll land 2 fighters in the Philippines, and then the other 4 fighters will be on the carriers, split between these 2 C zones, and hopefully we can make them all survive and be able to use them all to attack Tokyo. If anything, I want them to make them use the fighters to risk the fighters and not get him with the 2 bomber shot here. So that's just a whole lot of talking. I'm going to have to figure that all out in a little bit. But basically, I know we're going to have 30 ground units that we got to coordinate. We've got 2, 4, 6 our artillery. We've got 2 tanks. That makes 8, so that means 22 infantry I have to have in place. 2, 4, 7, 19, and there's our backups. I'm going to pull a chunk of these out, more than just what I need, because the other thing he can do is he can use his air to 1, 2, 3, 4 and just hit one of my 2 stacks of units here and peel off some of the infantry that could then hit here, because these planes aren't really going to do any defense of Japan. So we got to worry about 8 shots on these, so we want to have a little bit of extra units in each of these stacks to protect them. And lastly, if we do really well but don't quite take it, we can have a few ready to come up and for a second punch on Tokyo if we have to. If we fail, though, I got a feeling Germany's going to be taking London at the same time. So that's a whole other thing. We'll worry about that on UK's turn after Germany goes. Here we go. Woohoo! Let's go. Let's call the crazy train. Do I want to do anything here? I'm tempted. I'm very, very tempted to strike Egypt. Again, it's really important I don't lose any fighters here. But we got a 50-50 chance at taking Egypt with the 3 and 2. My fighters landing here. I think we're going to do it. We're going to do this. But we're just going to have to be very careful not to risk my fighters. Which, that's hard on me. Oh, don't want to forget about this dude. He can keep dancing around. I don't want to use my cruiser, battleship, or fighters over here because I don't want to waste boats in Sea Zone 49. So we're just going to have to do that and take it clean. Oh, that's what else I was going to do. One, two, three, four. Two. Let's see. I need 2 of these to land on the Philippines, and hitting there wouldn't allow them to land on the Philippines. Because these guys got to land on a carrier in 36. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other 2 will land on the carrier. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on the carrier in 48. But 2 of these fighters I need to land in the Philippines. Oh, well, I guess I could land them here now I think about 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just as good, and they'll actually help defend the stack there that we put in. So that's probably better. So let's see. 2 fighters in 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, check. 2 fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 36, check. 2 fighters landing in Yunnan, and a whole mix of ground units. I could go there, but again, I would just want to keep as many units in these 2 stacks as possible for any strafes. I don't want them to minimize my attack force. Alright. If he kills one of my infantry, that takes me down to basically making it a 50-50 on Tokyo. So we really want to take it, keep that extra 8% or so. Big 6. 5 works. Good deal. I mean, basically every unit's going to count on the attack on Tokyo. Alright, Egypt, here we go. Get those guns firing good. That is not the good I was looking for. Okay. When you need them, they fail you. But at least the fighters survived. So you may be asking why I took that risky shot on Egypt. Mainly because I really wanted to have the opportunity to possibly take Egypt, because I don't want him doing something crazy with his navy coming this way on me. I don't think he can do anything to stop me from attacking there, but if I attack there, he can then come take DEI and India, and then we're in a different battle. I'd hoped. Unfortunately, that's going to be a negative. Ooh, you know what? I got to think about that too. Alright, let's think about what we want to do here. We want 2 planes there, 2 planes there. Definitely going to need a carrier here. Thinking this is the distribution of boats we're going to want. Okay, so 3 transports here means I need at least 6 units there. So let's go. There's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's try that to start with. That gives us 4 savings. They've got their 2. 2 transports in here have their 2, so we're going to have 2 more transports there. See, this is 3, 8 transports all together that we'll have here. Because of the 2 I'm adding, right? Let's see. I should have 15 total. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, 2, 5, 7. So 8. Yeah, 8 should be here. So we need 16 units here. Currently, we've got 8. That's what I was willing to go down to, is 18 units on India. So we might need to pull back one of these dudes. Because we do have a dude here that they could also pick up. Give us a little buffer. So we need 16 units. We've got 11, 16, 18 units sitting here. We need 6 up here. We've got 3, 9, 10. So we actually get an extra one. So maybe even one less of these guys, right? Maybe just one less. So that give me 8 ground plus 2 fighters. Oi. You know what? It's okay to be extra here, because if she hits here, these guys can pick up from there. These guys can't pick up from here, so I'd rather have extra up here. So that now gives me 8, 1, and 2 fighters. If he sent 2 bombers and 6 fighters after them, what would that leave me sitting there? Oh, that's a lot of hits. Let's think about this a little heavier here. If he hits units here, but doesn't hit here, I'm okay, because we can take the extra. So we should put all the extras up this way. So we need 16 here. Currently got 11, 16, 17, 18. A couple heavier hitters there to kill any shots if he went for that easier. And so now that gives me 13 units defending here at a defense of what? 18, 24, 32. And we'll have 16 doing defense of 32 here. So both equally hitting him is hard. Boy, whew, this is making the brain hurt here a little bit, right? It's making my brain hurt a little bit at least. So just to re-go through things, there should be 1, 6, 2 transports being built, 8 transports. We've got 16 ground units there, all check. Up here, we're going to have 6 transports that need to grab them. We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 6 to float. Any hits here can be picked up here. These guys have their guys. We've got carrier, destroyer, fighters. So here's an interesting thing I'm going to be doing, by the way. So we're going to have, let's just see, we do got 2 fighters here. Yeah, so 5 units versus the 1, 2 bombers. That's a little bit thinner than I'd like because he could chew down into my fighters there. I'm going to have to do fighters before carrier because the carriers, if he hits the carrier, both fighters land. They're both out. He hits 1 fighter, I'd still have another fighter at least. Plus the carrier can help land to catch other ones. Interesting thing in this battle up here, I am going to set a brand new defense profile I have never done before. And that's going to be to take my carrier after my battleship's second hit, I think. Because again, the most important one is that I have a carrier live for these fighters that are going 1, 2, 3, 4 to land on. And it has to be one closer than this one because he's hopefully going to be catching 1, 2, 3 his own fighters. So this carrier really has to live. So I'm actually going to do destroyer, probably then fighters, then the battleship, and then the carrier. Crazy, crazy, crazy thought on the whole defense profile. Oh, yeah, these guys. So I gotta do some more calculating. I'm not gonna sit here and make you guys listen to me babble on about it, but I may take these two infantry, just concede Africa for now and bring them up here so that I have 4 U.S. infantry that I can bring over to London in case he does come out. So I've got a feeling that's probably what I'm going to do. Is that. But I'm going to go ahead and double check because I'm just getting as many units to if I go, he's obvious, it's kind of obvious what I'm doing, right? So he may go, okay, I'm going to send everything out here. And I only got like a 40% chance with these guys to wipe them. But if he also throws in a fleet down here, which is what I would do, then I'm stuck in a pickle. So it'll be interesting. All right, here we go. All the fun dropping down at once. Of course, he also has the opportunity to attack here. The 1-2 punch. He's got like a 60% chance to win, but overall it's still actually profitable for me at 18 units, and he'd have to really trash a lot of German units to do so. I say that, but I think I did not count these German bombers. Now that I think about it. Oh well, we're still going forward with our plan. Oh shoot, these German bombers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, they can't mess with my fleet arrangements over here. Thought I'd come a second there. I was really worrying. 1, 2, 3. So, well, all these spaghetti noodles. I really want to see it to believe it. But there we go. All right, so here we go. As I expected, Germany pushed their chips all in as well. Built 4 bombers over here. And They're going all in as well. So we're ready to let the chips fly and see what happens. So just to break this down a little bit more. So Germany, 4 bomber, 2 infantry purchase. 4 bombers just to get ready to pound there. He did not hit. He did not do any bomber moves. He marched down to Sedan, of course. Took Gibraltar, of course. India, he destroyed India, which was because I forgot about the 3 bombers that could hit there, and I guess he used 2 bombers. Did he just use 2 bombers there? I know he used 3 bombers on it. I've forgotten about the other 2 that were sitting in Italy, so that was a goof by me. I should have just pulled all the U.S. and saved what I could out. But anyways, so he wiped them. Um, the good news of that is that pulled these 2 bombers. By hitting them with those 2 bombers, they are not threatening UK this turn. This turn. So now, what does all this mean? Okay. So first off, our US push all in over here. So let's see, do I have it up? I think I got it up over here. Here we go. I'm going to pull the calculator out, show the odds. With him buying an AA, 5 infantry, a tank, and artillery just because he had 1 extra IPC, and me taking everything going all in, we've got a 65% chance at a profitable take to go after it. So that's what our drop is looking like. What's that have us surviving on average? 2 tanks. So we're not going to have much left after that. Let's see. The C-Zone, what is that? C-Zone 15 that we're in? That he's in? I can't remember where that... 13. C-Zone 13. That's the other one I wanted to look at. Got that up here somewhere. So I can try and attack him. Oh, maybe I didn't save it. Oh, there it is. And yep, 3 fighters, 4 subs versus his fleet there. You'll notice it's actually pretty close, not too far apart. I got a 37% chance of sinking it. We know he'd take those odds. Overall, potentially profitable. The best thing about it is, first round, he's got a defense power of 18, so on average, he's going to get 3 hits. I've got 4 subs to soak up, so my fighters can still survive if it doesn't go well. But if it goes well, then we can finish it off and just wipe out the transports and everything. Then fantastic, right? But it's worth at least 1 round shot, and then let the subs go and bring the fighters back and protect against the sea line. So on 17, this is what his sea lion threat looks like, though. So that's with me having 3 fighters get back. What did I click on? Oh, I hit the calculate button. Okay, so we got about 11% chance, or he has about 11% chance, and that's without me transporting any of my East Canada troops over. This is me just building land troops in UK this turn. If he hits one of them, it's up to 31%, but I do get 5 ground that I can sacrifice my transports into, so if we throw them in and we lose all our fighters on that battle, which I wouldn't do that if, he still had fighters living. But even if I had to trash all my fighters and trash my transports, I still got a decent defense chance this round. Of course, he could build up. I also got to protect USA, and he can go to Brazil. He's got lots of options he can do with it, with that fleet. But the actual Sea Lion shouldn't be too great. I am just going to go ahead and build all ground to defend, get my maximum defense into the UK. We're going to be losing money, obviously, in the UK, so he's going to have the opportunity to build another one. And so this is going to be a multiple round defense that I need to do. So we'll figure this out. If we can wipe this fleet, though, or at least get it down pretty good, US can come back, maybe put some boats in here, and I don't know. We'll figure it out when it comes to US's turn, depending on what happens on this turn right now. So we gotta get through this turn first. So here we go. Purchase. What are we purchasing? What are we buying? We are buying 7 infantry and a tank. Um, the AA might be better, but I'm good with the odds that as is. So I'd rather get the tank just in case someday we can use the transport to drop that tank down somewhere. Um, I do kind of want to at least get these fighters, because if these fighters living, you know, I can't even hide my transports up into C Zone 1 safely. There's nowhere I can hide my transports. They're just sitting ducks no matter what I do if I don't get them, if I don't at least get those guys. So, we'll see. Here we go. This is it of UK remaining, right? We got some guys over in Australia. Otherwise, this is the entirety of the UK armed forces. Alright. I keep saying I'm due. I'm due. It's my turn. My turn to win a 30% shot. Get a top 10% result. Um, Here we go. This is redemption for the UK Navy and Air Force. We saved the best for last. Boom. Oh, hey, yeah. Okay, we got one bonus hit. All right. Oh, he got 3 hits on the spot. Oh, okay. So, huh. Okay, I didn't even think about it. Okay, this is bad. I just planned that the dice are gonna go bad, and I was just gonna retreat after 1 round. I didn't think about what if things went well and what gives me the best odds to continue. So we got 2 boat shots we need to get, 1 air, or if we just keep the subs, is that gonna give us a better odds of killing the transports, even if he has the 1 fighter survive? I kind of think it might. I think this is gonna this is gonna be a calculator moment. So yeah. So okay. If I just took out all 3 fighters and just left the subs, it's like a 93% chance I take out his carrier, battleship, and transports, the most important part of it. If I take out 3 subs to kill these 3 units and the transport is like a 73% chance. Obviously, in the long run, the fighters are better than subs, because 1, any fighters that survive I could bring back here to make them have to be, you know, be serious about doing any sort of drop on this side next turn. If the subs survive and the fighters are trash, the subs are sitting down here, I can't do anything to dead zone him, just dropping more transports next turn. Right there. There's nothing I could do. So I could let 1 survive. How much money does he have? How much money is he taking in? He has 61. So he'd have to build at least 1 destroyer, and that would be a little bit risky if I had 1 fighter live. Alright. We did better than we expected. We're still protected against... the subs did their job. We are protected against the Sea Lion already. US can build some stuff and hopefully pressure them back next turn. So, let's go on. Good job, subs, first round. Keep it up. Ah, he hit my... It was this fighter that hit. Come on, sub, snipe him. Snipe that battleship. Snipe that battleship. Snipe the battleship. Don't even let him shoot back. Yeah! Alright. Woohoo! I got my results now. Woohoo! Now we just need Tokyo. Still can't drop him down there. We may just... We may just hang tight for a turn. Or two and just hang out here and be ready to reinforce if we need to for a second Sea Lion attempt. Because certainly he's just going to rebuild a navy somewhere. I don't really have much to defend. And it's not like even bringing him down here, I've got much to work with down here either. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna be happy with my victory. And let's head to the U.S. The Marines doing their job. All right. I was due, right? I'm due for one more at least. Alright, so here we go. As you can see, Japan did not attack anything. He bought 5 infantry, a fighter, and AA. Because he did not fill all 8 spots, he chose the fighter over... really, I think that would have been what? Did he use all his money? Yeah, he did use all his money. So, 10 could have been an infantry and a tank, which an infantry and a tank, if you know my defensive power terminology, then a fighter is worth 6, a tank is worth 5, and a infantry is worth 4. So it would have been 9 had he spent it on a infantry tank. Instead he got 6 out of a tank, so that gave me slightly better odds is what all that's saying. It gives me a 70% chance of taking Tokyo this turn. I'm pretty much going all in, assuming that I am going to take Tokyo. I am going to build a carrier in 48 to catch the leftover fighters. So these fighters go 1, 2, 3 and gotta land somewhere. These fighters go 1, 2, 3, gotta land somewhere. Those are those 2 carriers coming up to Sea Zone 60 or 62. We'll see. 60. Well, we'll figure that out on this after this is all done. These guys go 1, 2, and they either need to come back and land on a carrier being built here or land up here with my infantry coming up. But he's going to have an artillery and 6 fighters going there. So I'd rather save the fighters if I can, if they live. I'd rather them save and come back and land on a carrier here, which is just under threat of 2 bombers. So a carrier, I don't need these 2 destroyers to go to Sea Zone 60, so I have a carrier and 2 destroyers. Worst case scenario, no fighters to come back to them. That's not bad against 2 bombers. I'll take it. I am going to go ahead and build a destroyer over here in East USA. I'm very worried about Germany subs. And Sea Lion, like I said, his focus is going to be coming back. He's going to be hitting at this pretty heavy. I think we're okay for the G18 Sea Lion, but G19, I don't know. So we're just going to do everything we can to try to get to where we can build or do something, and we'll just go with it. So one destroyer going over there, land. I'm going to put an infantry and artillery in here for a reprisal attack, but if we don't win it, the reality is we're done. We'll put my 5 infantry that I don't use in here. He'd have to use, his German or his Japan fighters, 2 infantry, 2 bombers to attack him to whittle him down for my second attack, if needed. So, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. The other 3 infantry and artillery are just gonna go down here and Borneo for later pickup, because we got enough transports so we can pick them up later. So here we go. The moment I've been waiting for. Again, this is another game where I know Toadsum's probably got a bunch of other games going on, but this is one where he missed his 24 hours. It's been 48 hours since he took his turn. Again, I don't think he's stalling. I'm not saying that at all. Just saying I've been anxiously waiting to do this turn. As I mentioned, I think we're on different time zones too, which makes it that much more challenging, right? Alright, let's make sure we get everybody here. 16 guys all filled up. Five spares that we had there. Let's double check our everything. So he's got the 3 fighters, 2 bombers. Let's see, so I should have, looks like 38 units should be correct. I should have 22 infantry, 6 artillery, 2 tanks, 6 fighters, a battleship, and a cruiser. And that gives me a 69.6% chance to take at a 12.7 profit. Of course, that's the averages. We want above average. We're just going to chill here, continue to chill just to see what we need to do with these guys. Ready to drop them in UK if need be. Not much we can do here, but just fall back and get destroyed eventually. There it goes. Favorable, yay! Let's see, it looks like we should both get about 12 hits first round of battle. The main thing is I just need to stay relatively even. I got, let's see, 2 more land units attacking than he has defending, so... Nice. The cruiser hit. Whoa, the battleship missed. That's what I get for getting excited about the cruiser hitting. Only 1 hit, okay. I'll definitely take only 1 hit from the AAs. So we each got 1 hit so far. Alright, we did better. Because there was the one from the cruiser too, so we got 13. He's gotten 1 hit so far. Oh, he did better too though. Oh, I'm not going to pull the calculator. We'll just push the button and go. Oh, that did not look good. What are we down to? 16. And he take the bombers last too, after infantry. I should be doing better than this. 8, 10, 15 to 16. Eee. Man, those bombers are tearing me up. This is game. Well, I have to say, I picked a good fight. Whiff, everybody whiff. Man, those bombers just destroyed me. And that's it. Alright. Time to move on to the next game. There's no coming back from that. 70% shot, though. I mean, come on. 70%, and I mean, what would that result end up? He had 3 fighters, 2 bombers. What were the chances of 3 fighters and 2 bombers living? That is 21% chance. So I guess kind of the opposite in essence. It wasn't. Well, it was a 50, yeah, from a 70% chance to me to. About 20% for him. Alright, well, it was a good game. I'm just going to call it there. I'm not even going to try coming up with anything creative after that, though. Alright, so keep an eye out. I started the next game. See if I can do this correct. Because, you know, even if I to try and continue, he's going to build 8 more ground. Plus, he's going to be able to fly in his 6 fighters. And so that game was over. But so we got the game against Snake going. It's a fun one as well. I'll give my summary on this game in just a minute. Alright, so just coming back to the summary part of everything. The big thing is, I think, if I remember, Spinbot said I did Russia 1. It was fairly even, if I think. Attackers lost. Yeah. So it was a fairly neutral round 1, I believe. He built a tank rush, and I decided to go with my KJF setup into it. With my sub buy down in India, I did goof up big time in those early rounds where I could have pressured straight to Borneo and been there in a heartbeat. With US coming south, instead I actually went US north. So I made some pretty big blunders there. That being said, he also made a blunder letting me have an easy UK2 fleet drop. So some mistakes there. I was very nervous about going in playing a KJF into a tank rush. That's always I've never tried it. This was my first time literally trying a KJF going into the blunt of a tank rush against a top 10 player as well. So I have to say, all in all, I'm pretty happy about it. The game went pretty well, you know, up until I went to wipe out his Japan fleet, and the UK just got massacred in trying to wipe out his fleet somewhere around in this area. I forget the exact locations. I'd have to go back and look it all up. I will make some markers because it was a good game. I'm going to go back and find those highlight points and put them in the comments. But we continue to go well. We defended Moscow longer than to be expected. He even, I think it was G3, he took a shot at West Russia and got good results, got above average results, and decimated me quickly there. And things could have gone a loss in this game many times with some of these major battles. The fleet, the West Russia, the fleet. Then we were battling over Persia. Now, I did get better dice, I think, overall in Persia. I had one really bad round in Persia, but I had a couple of really good rounds in there too. So I think my dice are more favorable in the Persia battles. And then, of course, the huge disaster was the Mediterranean, right? I mean, that was supposed to be an 80-90% win, and the fleet just massacred me. He built those 3 battleships, or whatever. This looks like a brilliant move now. That was huge. Um, just dice weren't in my favor there. Uh, so then we did our best to create this great 70% shot. It was 65% if he built differently, but 70% shot on Tokyo. He pushed out. I got really good dice on here to finish off the fleet, and I'm pretty happy with how it all went in the end here. There's considering how many major battles, a lot of the trading and such. I don't think the dice was anything that was unexpected, but the UK fleet getting decimated by the Japan fleet, the UK and US fleet getting decimated here, the West Russia destroying the Russian troops up here were all huge battles. I got the Persia battle and I got the fleet over here, and then of course the final battle here that was a 70% chance and ended up going the exact opposite way and him getting a top 20% shot. So um, all in all, it made me more confident in attempting to defend or do a KJF into the face of a tank rush. So if you've already started, I already started my next one and against Snake, and Snake had that G1 tank rush. Um, I don't want to give any spoilers because I think this video is going to come out before where we're at in that game. So I won't give any spoilers on that, but it's always a fun game playing against them. And so we're facing a tank rush again, and see how we do. So see how round 2 against tank rush goes. All right, this was a good one. Definitely a learning one as well. And again, myself just to remember, especially my biggest blunder was that whole US one. To be frankly honest. Um, Thanks to Danny Uncanny for pointing that out. I just blew that one up. So, all right, on to the next one.